I'll call the meeting to order. We have a quorum. All three commissioners are present. We'll start out with Commissioner Stamper with the flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Are there any changes, corrections, additions, deletions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Minutes are approved. Public comment. Mr. Bob Gunther.
Well, thank you. I'm Bob Gunther. I live at 376 State High Route 508 in Chehalis, and I'm pretty active in the community, some of you may know. But one of the things that I wanted to talk to you today about was the Pacific Mountain Workforce Development Council. And, you know, you commissioners have appointed several of us to be on that board at Pacific Mountain. Pacific Mountain Workforce Development Council brings in about $9 million a year from federal funds from the Department of Labor. And, you know, I just have felt for a long time that we need to fight for every nickel that we can get in Lewis County to help our folks survive and be good citizens and get good jobs. And part of that is workforce training. And when we talk about the east end of Lewis County, we look at a high unemployment rate. We look at a lot of folks that have given up because of the timber industry decline. But yet again, if we look at the region and the county, forestry is one of the big employers in the forest in the county. So I just want to say that the discovery team from the White Pass High School, it works in the Gifford Pinchot National Forest every year, and they get paid to do that. And a lot of those people are making enough money to buy their school clothes and get some training in the forest work. Edna Fund and Gary Stamper have really worked hard with our board to make sure that we get a little bit of money to help those youngsters get a job up there and learn some things for their futures. This year we got $2,500 from the Pac Mountain Workforce Development Council, and these two have been working so hard to get more funds, and it looks like we've got a good chance to get another $15,000 from the Pac Mountain this year to help those folks. So thank you both for what you're doing. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about is that the North Freeway, north of Centralia, there's an interchange that's proposed. We have a group that's working very hard to actually have an industrial access point to actually help with the Port of Centralia traffic and also help with the Trans-Alta Industrial Park of the future. What's happening right now is that Tim Elsa has done a great job in putting teams together to actually sit down and start talking about this and what the alternatives are, if there is an alternative to a North Freeway industrial access. We would find that with these teams. Well, one of these team members is supposed to be the Port of Centralia. And I know for a fact we have asked the Port of Centralia to come and sit and be part of this team to develop a program to see what the best would be in the best interest of Lewis County, and have refused to come. So yesterday I had an opportunity to talk to one of the port commissioners, and I said, look, you guys, you three port commissioners, you're running that port, not the leader, not the director of the Port of Centralia, you. And I would expect nothing less than the Port of Centralia being represented at those meetings. And I just wanted you to know, and on the public record, that I didn't blow up, but I tell you I was pretty hot yesterday to think that we've got one team member that's setting out on the outside when this county has put up $500,000 of .09 money, I believe, to do that study and come up with the best solution for the future of Lewis County. And it's not happening, and I want it on the public record. Thank you.
Bob, just before you go, you also have been very active in the funding to get that project, whatever the solution is, funded to the tune of $50.5 million for a North County access solution. We have support all through the state for that project. Senator King, Representative Judy Cliburn,
Ed Orcott?
Ed Orcutt. We have a lot of people that are supporting that and have already appropriated money to that. We have money for that project, and it's just disappointing that not everybody's on board with finding a solution.
Well, as I said yesterday, this is an effort for the entire community for its future, not any one entity's. Sometimes you can't get everything you want, even if you're 100% right. You have to be able to give and take. And I believe sincerely that if we're a team, we'll end up with a better future for our kids. And when we talk about jobs, you've got to make $40,000 to $50,000 a year to make a living for a family in this county. And unfortunately, we've got many, many families that aren't even close to that. And tax base is great. We need a tax base. But we also, along with that tax base, need people to be able to make a decent living. And in order to do that, we have to create and bring jobs that can pay a decent family wage.
Thank you, sir. Any other public comment? Then we will go to employee recognition, above and beyond.
Would Shandy Cardin like to come up? Shandy was nominated by Jonathan Meyer, Prosecutor's Office. Recently, our community suffered a devastating loss when 3 young children lost their lives in a tragic house fire. Given the young age of the children, many of their classmates were forced to deal with a grieving process that was new to them. Shandy, accompanied by Oak, the comfort dog who allows children to simply love on him, hug him, chase him, lay on him, and crowd him, and works at the prosecutor's office. They took him to Washington Elementary to be with the students. Shandy and Oak spent a good portion of their day at the school with the children, teachers, and staff, and proved to be an invaluable tool for all that came in contact with. Shandy showed a tender heart, unending compassion, and strong shoulders as she watched the children try to understand what had happened. From laughing and crying with the children to letting them wipe their hands on her sweatshirt after Oak had licked them, Shandy showed the true meaning of public service. Thank you, Shandy. Thank you.
Pressure's on her.
Next, above and beyond, will the following people come up? Melanie Case, Mark Bronson, Kristen Buckman, William Norwood, and Donna Zuber from the Solid Waste Department. Would you like to all come up? For the months of February and March, the above-named employees graciously stepped in to help in the absence of Steve Skinner, Solid Waste Manager. With the extra work from maintenance, scheduling, the recycling, and hazardous programs to accounting concerned, a beat was never missed, and Steve's return was flawless. Thank you. Congratulations. Yes, the right side. Thank you.
Tell Melanie we'll bring her over.
Yeah, she's the next one, above and beyond, Laura Hansen, E911 Communications Department. In recent months, Laura has stepped up to the plate throughout the transition to keep operations moving smoothly and staff happy. Laura has gone above her call of duty by ensuring there is complete staffing in the 911 center, even if it means she has to work the schedule for hours to make it work. Her dedication to the task means not only do the staff feel supported by being provided proper staffing levels, but the agency we dispatch for and citizens who call for assistance are also supported because there's plenty of staffing to fulfill their requests in a timely manner. Her dedication to the schedule has also benefited the county in cost savings. Laura has worked hard on multiple accounts to come up with creative solutions for staffing shortages to limit overtime paid out, thus saving the center money. And on a personal note, I understand that when the fire was happening close by, that you came into the communications center and went to work and stopped that smoke from coming into the center itself. So thank you. Matt Pantana. Matt Pantana. Sorry, I needed the microphone. Matt was nominated by Belle Williams of the Sheriff's Office. Belle states, Matt is aware of the county buildings and the type of work that goes on inside of them. During half the year when it gets dark early, I wasn't able to see who was at the door and had to rely solely on the intercom. Matt zeroed in on that and took personal responsibility to make sure I had lights, which ensured I had safety and security. When I thanked Matt for the lights, for Deb and I, he said, it's all about security and safety, and I wouldn't want you or my family working in the dark. It's that compassion and awareness that makes Matt an exceptional employee that goes definitely beyond and above and beyond award. Thank you. You can't see the shirt. I turned. Thank you. Thank you. And above and beyond, Devane Rodeker from the E91 Communications Department. She has been a rock-solid supervisor for the dispatch center for many years. Recently, when the only other supervisor was absent, Devane picked up the pace and has been doing the work of both supervisors with no complaints and a smile on her face. She's been a positive role model, and very few can equal her knowledge and expertise in the dispatch center. She has been a major supporter and a huge reason why the center has enjoyed continued high standards and has scored high marks according to the NFPA standards for call taking and processing times. Devane remains the go-to person for both management and outside agency requests. Her integrity is beyond approach and is most deserving of accolades. Thank you, Devane. Thank you. Thank you. Employee of the Quarter, Katie Strozik, please come up. During the last quarter, Katie has demonstrated her willingness to take on new challenges and tasks. During a particular week in March, the Permit Center in Community Development was severely shorthanded, and Katie, overhearing this, stepped up to assist the staff wherever possible for public inquiries. By doing this, not only did Katie help the community development staff, but in turn helped the public meet their needs in a very reasonable time period. Donna Olson states, Katie is the employee everyone wants as a part of their team. She doesn't work for community development, but she's definitely part of our team. Katie's skills are outstanding, and she is willing to share those skills at any time when it's needed. But her attitude is what makes it all the difference. Katie has become an ambassador, not just for the health department, but for Lewis County at well. Thank you, Katie.
Thank you.
That's it.
I'll entertain a motion to approve the proclamation.
I make a motion proclaiming National Missing and Exploited Children's Day, May 25th, 2016.
Second.
The motion is made and seconded for the proclamation.
Okay. Proclaiming National Missing and Exploited Children's Day, May 25th, 2016. Whereas Lewis County 911 communication is committed to the safety of everyone in Lewis County and especially focused on the safety of children, and whereas a new Pew Internet Project report reveals that 93% of teens ages 12 to 17 go online, the unsupervised use of the Internet by children poses significant risk. Parents, families, and the community need to seek resources and provide the children with information to support the safe Internet use. And whereas the Internet has become a primary tool for sexually exploited children, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children received congressional authority to establish the Cyber Tip Line, which provides a centralized mechanism for the public and electronic service providers to report suspected child sexual exploitation, which can often involve multiple jurisdictions. And whereas since launching of the Cyber Tip Line in 1998, more than 7.5 million reports of suspected child sexual exploitation has been received. 1 in 5 endangered runaways reported in 2015 to the NCMEC were likely sex trafficking victims. Whereas the Amber Alert program created in 1996 is operated by the U.S. Department of Justice, as of 2015, 822 children have been successfully recovered as a result of the program. Now, therefore, it be resolved that the partnership with the NCMEC and its collaborative organization, the Lewis County Board of Commissioners, proclaim May 25, 2016 as National Missing and Exploited Children Day in Lewis County. Therefore, it be resolved, and Lewis County urges the participation of local governments, law enforcement, and communities in the protection and education about sexual exploitation and abduction, and in the ways of response to seek help from law enforcement, social services, and the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Done in open session this 16th day of May 2016.
Laura Hanson and DJ Hammer, would you like to comment on that? You coming up together or separately? Okay.
Good morning. Lewis County 911 has been a national center for missing and exploited children, which is also known as NCMEC, partner since 2012. Each year we recognize and bring awareness to an ongoing problem with children being taken advantage of, exploited, and/or abducted. Currently, according to the Sheriff's Office Records Department, there are no missing children reported in Lewis County at this time. There are currently 66 children reported missing in Washington State, and in 2015, the FBI reported 460,000 children entered missing nationwide, many of whom NCMEC and local law enforcement have located and brought home to their families. While these statistics only highlight where reports have been made, as a dispatcher, I credit Lewis County's current status of no reports of missing children to a community that cares about our children, parents who are proactive in their children's lives, and our local law enforcement who work diligently on every case to bring missing children and runaways back home. So thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you to 911 for the work that you do on that. So let's give them a hand.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a few comments.
Yes, ma'am.
I have a dear friend whose granddaughter was taken about 7 years ago from Grays Harbor area, Lindsay Baum, and her mother continues to put on Facebook, to find her daughter, and just, it just brings it to home that there are local kids, maybe not in our county, but other counties that are still missing, and those parents don't have closure on what's happened to their child. And there's 1-800 numbers for people to call to leave tips. This started, I think, back in 1982 when John Walsh's little boy was taken from a mall. And through that, the Missing and Exploited Children Department was founded. And they have, found a lot of kids as a result of that. And it's incumbent on all of us. If we see something that's not so, doesn't look like it should be that way, or a child is not behaving right and is asking for help, that we need to intervene. Even though it may seem uncomfortable, it could save a child's life.
Any other comments? Call for the question. All in favor of the proclamation, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Proclamation's approved.
I move that we approve the notice agenda items 2 and 3, resolution number 16-140 through 141.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded.
Good morning, Commissioners. Tim Elsey, Public Works Director, speaking on item number 2.
Just real quick, are you now an officially empty nester?
I am officially an empty nester, and it feels pretty darn good, actually. So, absolutely. It was a situation where you see two best friends marry each other, and I couldn't be more happy or more proud. So thank you for mentioning that. Speaking to item number 2 on your notice agenda, this is a call for bids regarding the Lincoln Creek Bridge number 31 replacement project. Bids are due to the clerk of the board on or before 11 a.m. on Tuesday, June 7th, 2016, and this is resolution number 16-140. This resolution will give notice that a call for bids has been issued for the Lincoln Creek Bridge replacement project. The contract provides for the improvement of Lincoln Creek Road at milepost 11.91 by replacing bridge number 31 and other related work, all in accordance with the contract plans and provisions and the standard specifications. This project is listed on Lewis County's previously adopted 6-year transportation improvement program. Sealed bids for the bridge project shall be submitted to the clerk of the Lewis County Board of County Commissioners on or before 11 a.m. Tuesday, June 7th, and will be opened on or after 11:30 a.m. on June 7th. Bids submitted after 11 a.m. will not be considered for the proposal. The contract will be available for viewing on Lewis County's website after successful execution of the bid call.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you.
Good morning. Lee Napier, Director of Community Development, speaking on agenda item number 3, resolution 16141. We're asking that the board set a public hearing to consider an ordinance that would amend Lewis County Codes Titles 16 and 17. The proposed code revisions would address the majority of permit review processes in Titles 17 and would remove all similar or duplicative review processes that are scattered throughout Titles 16 and 17. So we believe this would drastically change and simplify the code. We're asking you to set a hearing date of June 6th for this matter. Any questions?
It says on this summary that our point of contact was Fred Evander.
That's correct.
Is he here today?
He is here today. Would you like him to lead? Maybe sing the national anthem?
I don't see him. Is that you? That's a heck of a haircut. The second question I have for you, Fred, is did you enlist? Okay. You're not leaving then? Okay.
Thank you for your
very
support
much.
on that item.
And we really appreciate the work that has been put into this to find that we have 8 different ways to process a permit, and we can work around that and make it easier is good news. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's all part of our permit review process that's going on in-house. So thank you very much. All in favor of the notice agenda?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Notice agenda is approved.
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda, which includes one item, resolution number 16-142, approval of the warrants for payment.
Motion has been made and seconded. Suzette?
Good morning, Commissioners. Suzette Smith, Auditor's Office, Financial Services Division, here to present to you agenda item number 4. This is resolution number 16-142, and it is the weekly approval of claims against the various county departments. Last week, we issued 309 regular warrants, numbers 747-394 through 747-702, for a total dollar amount $1,194,771.85. Any questions? Thank you.
Any further discussion on the consent agenda? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Approved.
Seeing no further business on our agenda, I move that we adjourn.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? We are adjourned.